Hi, I'm Arianna,
I'm Marcus.
and this
This
is
is Rated
Rated
R
R
for
for
Relatives.
Relatives. Thank you for tuning in to
Yeah.
our 10th
Oh
episode.
yeah, 10
Oh
episodes.
my gosh. I kind of kicked myself a little bit because we would have been already at
12.
12.
Yeah, we would have
Yeah,
been at
but it's
12.
okay. Life happens.
Yeah,
Like right now, I'm a little lazier on this episode. I have an oversized sweatshirt, sweatpants.
Can see that.
I didn't really do my hair, didn't really do my makeup. Sorry. Sorry, mom. Because we all know mom's like, really? I I'm on that time of the month. Thank you, Eve, for giving me this. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for eating that damn apple. Anyways, but
But
yeah,
yeah,
that's the state
welcome.
of my body right now.
That's our introduction.
And that's our introduction. It is.
Yeah,
So it's my turn for weekly rant. Relate to this rant.
relate to
I
this
keep
rant.
forgetting that that's the title of our
Like the
segment.
actual title, yeah.
First segment being relate to this rant. It's my turn. I kind of just how do I go on without exposing the conversation that I had? Well, whatever. I can say what I want. I'm an adult. Mom was telling me about a conversation she was having with another family member, and this family member particularly isn't exactly on the right side of history. They are definitely on the wrong one. And I forgot, I don't want to give too much detail on how it got brought up, really, but my mom was just defending me, right? Because this family member was definitely making certain remarks about how I believe in the right things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, God forbid I believe in people having the right to live anywhere where they feel safe. God forbid I believe that people should love each other like two consensual adults, no matter what, they love each other. It's, you know what I mean? Like, I believe in those rights. I believe in human rights. I believe in so many things that I feel like everybody should. And if you don't, then you have a dark soul, personally. Because I think as a society, we are way too involved in what other people are doing and what other people are doing to make themselves happy in their lives. And a lot of people like to stir that into a completely wrong direction. Like every time I express something like that, they're like, well, if someone you loved was doing drugs and it made them happy, would you let them do it? That is so different
Yeah,
than
I hate when
like,
people make those kind of comparisons because like when like certain things really don't compare to other situations, like
mm-hmm,
especially when it comes to social paradigms like that. I'm a very neutral person, like
right.
moderately. I'm a very moderate person. I'm an independent voter, like you know what I mean. Like that's how I stand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a hard. I'm not a What's
Hard
the
right, hard
right?
left. Like,
Exactly. Not
you
right.
don't,
I'm not
right.
hard right, hard left. I would like to say I'm definitely more left leaning, but
I was gonna
like
say, yeah, you're
yeah.
left leaning.
Right.
However, like, because sorry to cut you off, but
No, yeah.
a lot of people like to say that because both sides do have their flaws. Our country is a two-party system, unfortunately. So with that, you have to pick between the lesser of two evils when it
Right.
comes to voting. And I'm not saying like the government is evil, but
Well,
well,
right.
but it is. You truly are choosing between two evils. Because listen, the people that don't vote because they think it doesn't matter, first of all, it does. You
Right. If
really,
you're voting
you,
because you think it doesn't matter at all, that's one thing.
yeah.
Like, you
Like,
know what
and
I
I,
mean?
and I, there's so many conspiracy theories revolving around that. But when I voted this time around, I say this all the time. You would have thought I was a lawyer training for the bar exam.
Hmm.
Like, truthfully, I studied. I studied so hard on both sides. I made a new TikTok account under a random email. I don't even remember because I deactivated it, but under a random email. And I literally shifted my algorithm to be right leaning because I really wanted to get it. I wanted to understand why people that are on that side follow this specific person so much blindly. Because what I'm trying to say is that I really wanted to understand why they thought that this was okay. Why do they think that things that are going on are okay, and why are they fighting so hard and are willing to be upset with me for thinking differently? And they can use the same argument too. Well, you don't like me because I think differently. No, you think wrong. I'm sorry. There is a wrong side.
Right, right, right. Which I'm not, obviously I agree with you, but
Mhm.
to them they see it the opposite.
Right. And honestly, at that point, there's no returning that.
Because here's the thing, Ariana, is you have to also learn to acknowledge the objectification of your view. Because
Mhm.
obviously, there's objectively right things about
Mhm.
the way that you think. Like there
Right.
is literally, like this is like
Morally
like
wrong.
literally like human rights, people
Yes.
having the right to live how they live, and as long
Yes.
as it's not impeding others, like
Yes.
that's fine. Like there's nothing
Mhm.
wrong with that. And the fact that other people, like the other party, are trying to at the very least restrict quite a few things from what it seems
Mhm.
for what they think is the right thing
Mhm.
is interesting to me. Because here's the thing, and what I think even is crazier about all this is, I'm sorry, but this man out there isn't even fighting for your beliefs
That's
anymore.
what I'm saying.
Like
He's in it for
he's
himself.
in it for himself up there. He's in it for him and all his little friends.
I've lost like a little, not even a little, a lot of respect for a lot of these family members
I think
because
that's the word. It's like not even care.
not
It's just
even, yeah.
you've just lost respect.
Me, when I went into voting and went into doing this deep dive when election time came around,
Right.
I was looking at facts,
Right.
basic statistics, weighing out pros and cons of things of both sides.
Right.
I voted for what I thought was more beneficial to me and in my life, and also the people around me that I care about. And when these people are saying, oh, I don't vote, I just think it's pointless, or I'm just not educated enough, get educated. I can't stand the I'm just not educated. That's a cop out now to me.
Has that like been a comment you've heard?
Oh, I have heard that many
Really?
times. Yes.
Really?
I'm just not educated enough to even
That's
pick a
crazy. That's
side.
crazy.
Yes, because it's like
And like what, you don't even like watch the news at least, or
we
like something? You
have
don't see
we have
anything?
a source at the palm of our hands for you to get educated. So do it. There's not a moment in your life where you're sitting like, what's everybody upset about? You don't immediately go and research what's going on.
Or even just like it, what I think is funny, because like people who stay ignorant to certain things, it's like I get it, it's your lifestyle, you prefer not to think about things, but I'm sorry, we can't afford to live in that
That's what
kind
I
of
mean.
mindset anymore.
We
We
don't
can't.
have the
We
luxury of
don't
that.
have that anymore. Like, yeah, exactly. We don't have that anymore. Like we're in a state of complete panic right now. Like I mean,
Yes.
like there is shit going on. There's
Mhm.
people in power that
Yeah.
are doing things, and you're saying that you just shouldn't pay attention.
And what I have been doing is removing people from following me and unfollowing you. I don't block you. If you want to refollow me after, that's on you. But since you're not liking what I post, I don't like what you post. This is my social media. I can do what I want with it. This is my phone. I pay for it. I can do what I want with it. I'm going to remove you for my peace.
Right.
I have the right to do that.
Yeah.
So this particular family member was upset about the fact that I have a right to do that because that's what they were going and talking to mom about.
Hmm.
And one thing about my mom, she's going to defend me. She's going to defend us. We're her children, as
Yeah.
she should. Whether she thinks we're in the right or wrong, at the end of the day, our mom has now come to a realization that our feelings are valid. And we have every right to feel it the way that we do. Because the ultimate thing, what came down to when mom was arguing and defending for me, they had an issue with what I posted. If you go to my TikTok page, I have so many reposts of things that are very clear of where I stand on things. I even have my own posts on where I stand on things. And it's just ironic that that's what's bothering them. Like, truthfully, to their core. Like, well, your daughter posted this, and I just don't like.
Like, what is
I'm 23 or gonna be
I
23. What do you want
don't
my mommy to
I don't
do?
get no, yeah,
Do you want my mommy to take my phone away?
like, I don't
What?
get what's the issue or something? Or even then, it's like, if it's like an are you trying to, like are you trying to ask our mother of, like, why, like, how she raised us, or, like, what's the goal here?
That's what
Like,
I'm
you know what I
saying.
mean?
What is the goal here? Is
Like,
overall my rant. What is your goal in going to tell my mom about things that you have wrong with me or you or any of her children? And my mom's response to you is, they're adults. They're adults. My kids believe in what they believe in. Okay. As long as my kid is believing in things that aren't harming them or others, what's the problem? You know, like mom has always taught us to fight for what we believe in. Mom has always told us to stand 10 toes on things that we know facts about and not to open our mouths unless we do. And
and I think, and especially because here's the thing, like, I myself am a man of faith, strong faith, and you know
right.
this. So coming as a man that has read a good part of the word and has taken even dissection into theology, even my
Hmm.
research into that,
Right.
of, like, things like that, and, like, the stories, whatever. My point is when I hate it when people, like, cherry pick certain things out of the Bible. You give us a bad name
Yeah.
because, like, you're using these certain things to justify your weird beliefs or your views on things. That's not what they mean
Hmm.
at
Yeah.
all.
Exactly.
Like, they were you need to look at the context around these things. I can't stand it, like, because, like, especially when it's at times like these when they're like, he's fighting for Christian values. It's like, his you know what's funny? His VP was really the only person to say anything towards that. Like, he was like,
Hmm.
"Yep, amen." Like, that was really it's really all of it. God bless America. That's every president though. Like, that's not special. Look, obviously we're not like the end all be all of the
Hmm.
system, you know.
Right.
Like, you don't have to follow exactly what we do. We're not saying what we say is holy writ, but
Right.
you know what I mean? But in the same case of the word, in the same sense of the word, I don't think that we're entirely on. I don't, like this. Like, genuinely, nothing in my brain can comprehend our views being negative.
That's what that,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And versus on that side, you're telling me you find nothing wrong with someone kidnapping people,
Hmm.
with someone that has touched little kids, that has done way worse things to
Yes.
little kids,
Yes.
that is racist, that
Yes.
is a womanizer. Like, and there's one. It's one thing to be a man. It's another thing
Right.
to be a womanizer. Like,
Right.
for
Derogatory.
derogatory woman,
That womanizer in derogatory
like
terms.
on that note, because you think he's a good businessman and you think he's fighting for your religious values.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, but he's not. He's fighting to make you think that he's going to do that because he wants you to get on his side because he wants to have his agenda.
And
And
I'm,
don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. Every president lies.
yeah.
Every electoral,
Right.
every candidate lies a little
Hmm.
bit. Whatever.
Hmm.
It's one thing to do that. It's another thing to be completely off the rail
Hmm.
and be doing this amount of shady shit
Yeah.
behind anyone. Your country's back, I
Right.
guess, would be the word.
And
Like,
the thing is, too, one last thing I'll say before I wrap this up.
yeah,
It is so important to vote. It's important for our generation to vote. And if you're not voting because you don't want to vote for something, vote against something.
right there.
Be against all of these morally wrong things that are genuinely harming living people that walk this earth every day trying to get through the 24 hours that they have. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah,
And what I am also going to say is, do not go to my mother and being in her face, yelling at her for how she raised us. Because she raised us to be upstanding, decent human beings.
at least we try. Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. At least we try.
Like, I don't know, but
We are
yeah,
not, we have a good heart. We have a good soul. We have good intentions. with everything that we do, and everything we do is with intention. And that's how we were raised. So if you have a problem with me or Marcus because of what we believe in, I didn't block your number.
Yeah, I was just about to say I can take your call.
I can take your call and I'll be happy to talk to you. Let's move on
Yeah.
to your turn. Your
um,
turn for we relate to the wow, I keep forgetting our segment name.
relate
Relate to
to
this
this
rant.
rant. So a couple days ago, I had my suspicion about some things in my life. So I thought I would test the water because
Okay.
it's funny.
I'm scared. What'd you do?
So I planted a little seed of information to someone and and made sure that they were the only person that could have, said anything, right?
Mhm.
And below and behold, I the trail goes as follows, not even the next day.
So
Not
you did that thing where you tell someone something. It was it a lie?
it wasn't even really a lie. It was just a couple of little facts
Mhm.
that I let them kind of just run with. Well, they I told them something, and then not even 24 hours later, I get a text from this girl that I was seeing because I'm seeing a couple people. I'm not doing more than that though. I'm seeing a couple people if you get my drift.
Right,
So
right, right.
anyway, point being is I had went to this one of the girls' house
Mhm.
and just had went was like there for pretty much the rest of the night. We were talking quite a bit. Like it was me, her, and like her roommate. My point to all this is that's what I was actually doing. After work the next day, I get a text back because like she had texted me about rescheduling plans. The other girl had texted me about rescheduling plans
Right.
because we were supposed to hang out that night.
Okay.
So, and I was like, oh yeah, like we can just schedule for Tuesday, like usual time. And she was like, no, I'm good off that. I know exactly what happened last night. And I was like, what? So
Uh-huh.
I was like, I didn't even tell anyone what I was actually doing. Like, no one knew what I was actually doing, not a single soul.
So wait, hold on. I'm trying to follow this story
Right, all
here.
right,
So
okay,
you were at woman A's house
right.
and you were just hanging out. It was woman A, you,
Her
side
roommate.
woman
No, not
A,
even, yeah, just her roommate. Like,
the roommate. Okay. And that's what you were actually
exactly,
doing.
that's what I was actually doing.
So where I got lost is
What did they think I was doing?
no, more the beginning. So you told somebody that what?
Well, not even that. I had told someone that a friend of mine from out of state was visiting in state
Oh,
and that they
okay.
were like 3 something hours away. And I was like making a joke, like, haha, maybe I'll go see him, like, whatever. Another girl, by the way.
Okay.
That
Mhm.
was it. Never said I was actually going to go do
You
anything.
never confirmed that you were gonna do it, but you
Exactly.
just said, "Maybe I'll stop by,"
Yeah, no,
and
like, yeah, literally. And not even on some, like, whatever. Like, you know what I
mhm.
mean? In any case, that's what I get. The text the next day. I know exactly what happened last night. No, you don't. Like,
Right.
she was getting mad and whatever, making a bunch of crazy accusations, and I was just like in complete awe
Mhm.
because like she was like, "No, I'm done." Like whatever, like that's so stupid and so embarrassing. Like blah blah blah, or like whatever. She's like, you're always disrespecting me." She was saying all this stuff. She even to that point earlier a little bit. She was like, "Who raised you? You're so disrespectful to or like whatever." I was like, this is news to me. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to like be like that, like guy, or like be, or even if this like is a dude pick me thing, but genuinely, there's one thing I know, it's that I'm a pretty respectful person to women.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I
at
would
least,
say so,
like, you
yeah.
know what I mean? And you're my sister. Like, obviously, you've heard me say some like stupid shit, obviously,
Right.
before, like,
And I've
whatever.
checked
Right,
you.
exactly, and you've checked me, like, and that's my point. Is like, I know I have my manners. I have my table manners with women. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
that's a good way to put it. You do. You have decorum, you have your manners, and you've
exactly.
always been that way since you were little.
Exactly.
Mom
And
used to get compliments from how well-mannered not me, apparently, but how well-mannered Marcus is, because for men, the bar is in hell.
and you know what? She has a right to feel however she wants. Because you know what? According to a couple of my friends, maybe I didn't treat her as right as I should have. But even to their point, she wasn't acting the way that should be treated that way. This was another woman telling me this.
But,
Like,
like, question for
what does that mean?
no, more of, like my question is, what did she think you did?
She thought that I went to go see the other girl from out of town
Okay.
and went over there and did God knows what, like, or just, like,
Oh,
whatever.
like, she was just
And, like,
assuming, but where did she
neg
hear this
and, like,
from?
neglect but that's the thing, because remember, the only person that even had a glimpse of that information that that person was even in town
Mhm.
was one person.
Oh
And
my
then
gosh!
so this is what I'm saying is I planted that seed,
Okay.
the trail followed because I connected the dots were easy to connect.
Right.
So now I know that A, that person is a mole, basically.
Mhm.
Can't trust him.
Right.
B, can't trust the person that is right next to them because it's not just them, it's also their significant other.
My question is, have you made it clear to these women that you are very much in a single mindset and are not
Oh,
fully in a
one
committed one?
100,000%. Like abundantly clear
Mhm.
that I want nothing more than what we were doing at the time. Because like we were on very clear terms. No one was like confused with anything. Hell, we had a schedule practically. Like, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like
Schedule is
it
crazy.
was, yeah, but like I mean, like whatever.
You're
But
with woman A on Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday. You're with woman B on Tuesday and Thursdays, and then you have woman C for the weekend. That is
I didn't
crazy.
say that's what I was doing, but
I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me when
but
you're like, we were on a
no, I
schedule.
just mean like I would like we saw each other like once a week, and that's even my point is like what I was actually doing was talking to people and just getting to know them. Like that's all I was doing,
Mhm.
and like and I never even lied too because I told her that I was tired and I had work early, which wasn't a lie. That's what was true. I was very tired and
Mhm.
had work early, but I had already made plans.
But not too tired to
No,
have
I mean,
to go follow through with your plans?
you never said I was going to sleep.
Marcus, that is so bad.
Yes, I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, but here's the thing. Look, I get it. Here's the thing. I get that,
Mhm.
but
You're
when
triggering me. No, sorry, hold on.
no, yeah, well, because here's my problem is when let me preface this. I will give so much respect. You will earn all my respect if you are just a kind and decent person that is
Mhm.
sensible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's not unheard of. Like, but when you are consistently either trying to get information
Mm.
on me or about me, you're trying to cause some sort of like you're always in the mix of my people, like trying to
Mm.
be around in my like you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like when you're doing certain things
Yeah.
that you just shouldn't know or aren't like
I
the right thing to
do see
do.
what you're saying.
I'm sorry, but you're not gonna get my admiration or really that much of my respect for that.
Mhm.
Why would you respect me if I would like, you know what I mean? If I was sitting here being like, why didn't you ask me to come over last night?
Mhm.
Would you respect me for that?
If the roles were reversed, I is what I mean, and I was getting that type of reaction, it would be a little off-putting for
Exactly.
sure, for sure.
Exactly it would. And that's the other thing. If you're expecting you're already to be at the top of my priority list, you've already lost me. You've
Yeah.
already lost me, and we're not together.
I
Sorry,
was gonna
let me
say,
preface that.
yeah.
If you're already expecting to be at the top of my priority list and we're not together, you've lost me. You've lost me completely. Because I'm
Yeah.
sorry, with that, if you are having this entitlement to
Mhm.
be into my life,
Mhm.
thinking that you have earned this certain place because of some this, that, and third, maybe there's miscommunication.
Right.
Maybe I've let you believe something different than the
Mhm.
truth. My bad,
Mhm.
but that is not true. I was never more clear. I've never been more clear with anyone before
Mhm.
of what I was doing, of what my intentions were, and that it was going to stop there.
Yeah.
Period. I'm sorry again if you are acting this certain way of like entitlement in my life,
Mhm.
of like this expectation on me,
Mhm.
of trying to I don't know, perpetuate some sort of drama even when you're trying to get information from people,
Right.
like that's so weird to me.
And you know what? I kind of do get what you're saying. It is a little bit weird. I tend to
So
forget that you are dating, right? You're not fully in committed relationships, and because if this was like a fully committed relationship and you were
completely
in it, I was
understand.
gonna
I'm in the
say
wrong. I am dead to rights. Yeah, of
yes,
course.
but this is. I do understand why this is raising a red flag for you.
Ridiculously so. So
And
forgive me if the place that she was at for me in my life was where I wanted her to be,
mhm,
and not anything more than that.
right.
And that's not
And
to take away from her value as a person. She really is a great person. Like, you know what
mhm.
I mean? But
And maybe you're just not what she's looking for.
exactly.
And it's sad for you because I'm sure these people are like your friends. I also don't like how person or people that you
Yeah.
told were the cause of stirring the pot of this as well.
Well, I will say that was almost a double entendre, to be honest with
Mhm.
you. It was all like this kind of hit two birds with one stone for me, to be honest with you, because I don't have to I don't have to perpetuate a situation with a person that is clearly not happy
Mhm.
with what we were doing. I was fine with it. I don't think she was, but so that's fine. And I hope she finds peace, and I hope she finds someone that will give her what she wants, because she does deserve that. She's a decently hardworking person.
Mhm.
She's a nice person at her core.
Mhm.
I'm sure this is ridiculous, and that's the next part of my rant, or kind of just the little end part of it is, as a grown man, as grown people, why do you care what other people are doing, and why do you care to talk to other people about it?
Yeah.
And
It goes to literally our point even with my rant. We care way too much about what other people are
why
doing.
why do you give a
If it's
shit?
not harming them, if it's not harming you or other people, just my gosh, let them be.
Like, I don't know, like, people got these vendettas. I don't know. I don't know what I've done. Again, please, 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 please. If I have done something to you, can you come talk to me?
That's literally what oh
Like,
my
for the
gosh.
love of God, can you just come talk
But
to
I'm
me?
telling you, people don't know how to communicate
I
with each
don't.
other
I don't.
healthfully at all because there's been so many times where I'm like, you could have just said something. You could
No,
have
because
just
what
talked to
when I
me.
tell you, like, I've sensed it in the ether with these people, that, like,
Mhm.
or at least with one of them, that, like, there's an issue with me. Like, I
Mhm.
can see by the way they look at me sometimes.
Mhm.
Like, what is it? And I've given ample literally blatantly, even when they said, "No, we're good," like, whatever. I'm like, I've done this before. You're
Yeah.
lying. Like, I feel like you're lying to me right now. Like, and
Yeah.
they're like, "No, we're good, bro." Like,
Mhm.
I'm like, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
no one can say that I didn't try. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, how are you gonna sit there and keep trying to say that I'm doing all these wrong things or whatever, and you're the one who's like figuring all this out and like having this vendetta against me? I've given you ample opportunity to talk to me,
Yeah.
to say what it is that your problem is with me. Because if it's some things that you know, I think it's people think they know things about you.
Mhm.
They don't. I
Yeah.
think it's hilarious.
I think the most thing that annoys me is how many opportunities I've given people to talk to me about something and they've chosen to not. If you truly had a problem with me, you would tell me about it. And
Yeah.
if you're not telling me, then we don't have a problem. And
Or
then you're just acting stupid for no reason.
Or even like I even like Tom Holland's quote, like, "If you have a problem with me, text me, and if you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me."
Exactly.
Like,
And with that,
with that, we will close and end to the next part, which is obviously our movie segment.
for cinema.
For cinema, for cinema.
For cinema. It's my turn.
Yeah, and your recommendation this week was War Dogs.
War Dogs. Okay, listen. I'm so sorry, but like sometimes the titles of movies really just make me not want to watch them. This one was one of them. I was like, "Why are you giving me something called War Dogs?" Like, what is I mean, but to be fair, I gave you something called 27 Dresses. So,
The stupidest title
I
drop ever.
oh my gosh. But I I really enjoyed this movie. I really did.
Uh
I
huh.
would like to say I gave it a 4 stars.
Yay! Okay. So War Dogs is it's Miles Teller and Jonah Hill. Miles Teller is kind of working this 9 to 5 job, pretty average Joe Schmo, and he meets Jonah Hill's character, who is an arms dealer for the U.S. government. Now, if you know anything kind of just about arms dealing in general, oh, also based on a true story. Um, if you know anything about arms dealing in general, it's obviously a very lucrative business. It's very morally ambiguous, but in any case, and that is kind of more the premise of the movie, is they end up doing quite a few things within their business that gets them into some pretty sketchy spots and a lot of trouble, which
Mhm.
honorable mention too is Ana de Armas's performance as Miles Teller's wife, who this was actually, which I guess little known fact for this movie is this was one of her first actual performances with an American accent. So
Really?
she did not speak English when she was doing this movie. Actually, she learned the script. Like,
Which is crazy because I felt like her accent wasn't so prevalent.
yeah, no, she
That's
was.
great.
Yeah, no, this was. Yeah, but in any case, they get into a bunch of trouble and learn a bunch of interesting life lessons along the way. And obviously, it's a very, very thrilling movie and actually kind of comedic.
The thing about Jonah Hill, though, too, is he's always going to bring the comedic factor in the most
Always.
serious movies, of course. And I just think that's just his niche as an actor. Like, it could be the most serious situation, and he's going to crack a joke, and which is totally fine with me. I like actors who can do that and who can do that tastefully and know when to do it in films like this. And this movie really was just prevalent. It was quite extraordinary, I have to say. I mean, it's not, I mean, I'm not saying the cinematography is bad, but it's not prevalent in the way that it's cinematically amazing, like we
Right.
always say. But the storyline is incredible. The characters are incredible. I truthfully seeing Bradley Cooper in here, I don't know, I really like getting surprised because I went into this almost blindly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I knew that Miles Teller and Jonah Hill were in this movie, obviously, because they're the front of the poster.
Right.
I went into it completely blind to like not seeing the rest of the cast, not even knowing what this movie was about, which I really like when I'm watching a new movie. I get surprised, like, oh my gosh, Bradley Cooper's in this. And
Right.
I think Bradley Cooper's an amazing actor.
Oh,
I think
phenomenal.
he's incredible. Ana de Armas too, like knowing that fact about her in this movie is great. Like, because it's set in Miami, right? The demographic of Miami is there's a lot of Latinas. Of course, his wife is gonna be Latina, and it just it fits so well. The casting was amazing. The only reason why it loses a star for me, though, I wish we got a little bit more answers. But that's kind of like the point. Like his like the whole narration, like Miles Teller's character, I believe it's David Parkhouse.
Yeah.
He didn't have all the answers because the story is narrated and told from his point of view.
Mm-hmm.
It's not from a third person.
Right.
So he didn't know all the answers, and that's just the point of it. But I just wish we did. I always like knowing all the answers. Like
Right.
the one thing that really just didn't sit well with me and still kind of doesn't is what happened to his driver. It's just sad. And the fact that how it all came down, a little bit of a spoiler, like
Right.
obviously they end up getting caught doing what they're doing, but
Right.
how it all came down was you didn't pay that man his money and he snitched on you.
Mm-hmm.
All you had to do was pay his money. You know what's crazy? I was telling
Freaking
Jose,
Ephraim.
100 grand was not even that bad for what they were doing. Paying them 100 grand was not that bad,
They're making
in my
bank
opinion.
too.
I was gonna say, out of all of the money that they had, 100 grand was like giving them $50.
Right. Like,
Like truthfully, like it wasn't even that. Like you could have give that man 100 grand, and that is what set you off. And when they came up with the idea of what to do to repackage everything,
oh
right
yeah.
before that happened, I told Jose, like, because obviously I watched this with Jose. I told him I was like, "Is it bad that I thought to do the same thing?" It really educated me on what's kind of going on right now too, like
There's a lot of
of
stuff that goes into war like
oh
this.
yeah, oh, in the beginning of how much it costs to even like suit up one person, 17 grand, probably even more now,
Oh yeah.
is crazy. That's where my tax dollars are going to. Are you serious? My
That.
tax dollars are
Mm.
going for you to, are we for real? Get that shit off of Shein. Like, what are we doing? What are we
They
doing?
need to be protected.
Oh my god, but they'll be protected just fine. I promise you.
She's like, "Can we take one armor plate out?" Like,
I mean, I just, it's just ridiculous to me. To me, figuring out that that is
why do they need their
exactly.
back covered? Let's just.
It just makes me mad because I'm gonna sound like a tree hugger. No, no offense. I love my tree huggers. Thank you for saving the planet. I don't think war is necessary. Why can't our leaders just duke it out in a boxing ring? Hey, that would be more entertaining than what's going on. This movie kind of brings up a point. A lot of the equipment that is used for war, essentially, even dated back, like he says in the movie, like this stuff was possibly used in the Cold War. Like it hasn't been touched since. My tax dollars are sitting in a storage in Albania somewhere. I just find that so ridiculous.
But this
My
movie, it really
money that
sheds
you
a
take out of my paycheck is sitting in a storage unit
which,
somewhere.
on that note, though, it kind of sets, like, a note on of just, like, the American way of, like, earning your money. Because that's the whole thing of, like, why kinda Ephraim gets him to really, like, do business with him is, like,
Right,
this is like, you have right to this is legal. Like, you can do this just as easy, and you can get your money. Like, this is
right.
like, like,
Take
you
back
can
from the man,
yeah,
essentially.
exactly. Like, why not do all this? That's literally basically what he was kinda saying, especially at the
Mhm.
beginning, like, why not?
It really is a really good
It
movie.
is, and especially because you get down to the male centeredness of it all. It's about a guy that is just trying to get through, and
Mhm.
he ends up making a few wrong decisions, just trying to provide for his family,
Yeah,
really,
and not just
and
that, but, like, the greed that
the
happens in
greed,
men
and
too.
as well too, it comes up with the greed in Ephraim's character, and even a little bit in Miles Teller's character,
Mhm,
in Ephraim, and in Miles Teller's character,
mhm.
um, of like, yeah, no, of like, what, how far are you willing to go?
Yeah,
Like, and it really asks that question as like as a man, almost, of like, how far are you willing to go
yeah.
to get what you want and like get your end? Because like obviously Ephraim was insistent on not paying the guy
Which is, like,
for
to
like
me, it's ridiculous. Like, I when it starts to unravel, you have this moment where it's like, "Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. You're stupid." You know what I'm
yep,
saying? And my favorite, and I my one of my favorite moments is when he grabs the golden grenade that Jonah Hill's character gifted
yeah,
Miles Teller's character, and like just chucks it at his office and breaks the window and
yeah,
all of these things because it is that serious. One thing you don't play about with other people is money. That's the one thing. And also, I was upset at Miles Teller's character. Like, bro, you didn't make a copy.
right, or like
I don't care how long this has been your friend. I don't care how long you have known each other. I don't care. Make a copy of that document. I'm glad you introduced me to this movie. I love discovering new movies. I like how this week, I you've never seen the one that I assigned you for,
no,
which will transition into that,
yeah,
into Marx's turn. Going into your turn now for cinema, the movie I assigned you was Because I Said So.
yeah,
So the premise of this movie is essentially about the relationship between a mother and her three daughters, mainly her youngest daughter. It focuses on their relationship, and the mother in this movie is played by Diane Keaton and the daughter is Mandy Moore. You also have like the other two daughters, but like I said, it mainly focused on Mandy Moore's and Diane Keaton's dynamic of their mother and daughter relationship.
hmm
And Diane Keaton's character
yeah,
is a little erratic. She's a very pushy mother. She's a helicopter mom, if you
hmm
will, especially with her youngest because the other two daughters have already gotten married. They
right,
found their love. They've established their life. Um, but Mandy Moore's character is having a difficult time finding love and finding a solid relationship and
right,
establishing her life in that. So it's this movie focuses on the mother really wanting that for her daughter because she doesn't want her daughter to end up alone like her,
right,
essentially. And Diane Keaton's character so much so wants her daughter to find love that she makes an ad for her
right,
daughter. Mandy Moore's character does not know that Diane Keaton did this.
right,
And Diane Keaton's character, she goes on these blind dates for her daughter and trying to find the right person. And she comes across two men that essentially have interest in Mandy Moore's character. And Mandy Moore's character simultaneously dates both of them throughout the movie. And again, unknowingly, still, that her mother is the reason why she's in the predicament between these two men.
right,
Because, of course, one of the men her mother is really rooting for and really pushing her to be with. And the other guy she really isn't too big of a fan of, which, of course, we'll get into the more details of this movie. But it is one of my favorites, and I love it so much. And I'm so glad you got the opportunity to watch
yeah.
it. So, what was your overall rating?
Honestly, my overall rating for this movie is 3.5. Actually, three
Three
and a
and a
half,
half.
3.5 stars.
It's not bad. I can kind of see why,
Yeah,
but
and I'll tell you why. Well, first of all, the cast was great. The first scene's them at a wedding, I think. Yeah.
yeah, the first scene is them at the oldest daughter's wedding.
Right, there you go. Yeah, so they're at the oldest star's wedding, and obviously the mom is still helicoptering a little bit, like, all that, and we see her relationship with her daughters.
Yeah, it's very prevalent from the beginning of the
Right.
movie what type of mom she is.
Exactly, and even, like, when they're getting massages and whatnot, like,
Mhm.
they're that whole, like, conversation of how like, it was, like honestly, I was very surprised to kinda just see these conversations play out with, like,
Mhm.
them especially because one of the daughters is, like, a therapist. So,
Yes.
like, she's there to tell the mom, like, "Well, you're actually being crazy." Like,
Yeah.
like
And
and
imagine if the mom received that advice and roll credits.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Roll credit there would've been no movie.
No movie
She
at
would've
all.
laid off. Like, it was
Exactly.
but no, she ends up, like, kind of, like, really, obviously, like you said, wanting her daughter to find love, so she puts out this ad. She goes on these ridiculous blind dates because obviously people respond to the ad, and we see a
Mhm.
bunch of very funny characters for a bit, and she gets to one of the guys who I'm spacing on his name because I hated him from the beginning, but
Yeah, the architect.
yeah, the architect. She loves him. She thinks he's a very upstanding guy, very polite, very
Right.
put together. She's like, you
Mhm.
have to obviously have to meet my daughter. But during a couple of like the dates there, a musician that's sitting down notices what's happening because he had spoken to her a bit earlier,
Right.
and obviously talks to her and is like, "Let me meet your daughter. I
Mhm.
want to meet her. I had a feeling, I have a feeling we'll like each other. Like whatever." This is part of the reason why the movie does lose a bit for me is it became very predictable very fast.
What in what sense? Like, did you know she
As
was
in
gonna pick him from the
exactly,
beginning?
exactly. Like that was that. Which I mean, you
Well,
kind of
yeah.
do get that, but like and maybe it's just because obviously this was released in 2007, so like
Mhm.
that trope was still not really too explored. People were still
Mhm.
like, oh, like
Well, I think I kinda get what you're saying because it becomes very clear which guy is the right one for her.
insanely so. Even when it's not clear to her, it's very clear to the audience, almost
Yes.
right from the get go. At least for me, it was so very clear how much of the connection she was having with the musician,
Mhm.
how much of like her time that she just had. I mean, hell, first of all, he had a kid that didn't throw her.
Yeah.
That was enough for me.
And
I'm
in
like,
fact, she says in the movie that they have her and the child has because he's apologizing for
she.
his kid,
Oh
right?
yeah, right,
That she has like a
and
kismet connection with him
right,
because
because he's always running around and is very energetic, and she's always talking, and
yeah,
she's very energetic that way.
and
And
yeah, and she's kids are
she even makes
clumsy,
it. She even
she's
makes a. She even
clumsy.
makes a joke of like, "You're gonna have your hands full with the both
Yeah.
of us." Or like,
But like I think I yes, the basis of the plot was her choosing between
right,
these two men, but the main thing of this movie
is the
was
mother
mother,
really,
right.
which is true, and I will say that character development I thought was very great because obviously we do see throughout pretty much the entire movie, besides literally like the last act,
Mhm.
she is very much in her business. I get why this is on probably pretty I would assume pretty high on your list because
Yeah.
it showcases that relationship very strongly.
Mhm.
Obviously, you're a daughter, like I can see why this has that much of an appeal to you or
Yes.
to any woman, obviously. And then obviously I found it entertaining. It was hilarious also.
Yes.
Like I was laughing quite a bit during this movie.
For those who haven't watched because I said so, Jason is this architect, right? He seems on the surface a very well-established man,
Right?
has
Comes
comes
from
from
a good
money and
family,
good
yeah.
family,
Right.
but he's very pretentious. And there is this scene in the movie where she goes on a date with Jason. They're at his apartment and she knocks over,
Mhm.
I think, a wine glass
Yeah.
and it breaks something or it stains something. I don't
No, it
even,
breaks, yeah, it
yeah.
breaks.
And it breaks something. She was apologizing. Oh, I'm so sorry. And he got very upset.
He even well, and she even goes like, "I'll replace it," like, whatever,
Like
and
she's
he
trying to compensate
right,
for it.
and he, like, snaps back at her, like, "You can't." Like, like,
It was
gets
my
so yeah, it
grandmother's.
was my grandmother's.
Like, oh, sorry.
Listen, if
I,
someone don't get me wrong, if someone had, like, popped this off
mm-hmm.
and, like, it came into pieces, I would be pretty fucking upset.
But
Don't
at
get
the
me
same
wrong.
time,
But at the same time, it's like, shit
it
happens.
was an
It was an
accident.
accident.
It genuinely and
Exactly.
she God forbid a girl, like, messes up and, and also her little quirks, right? She kept saying "great" a lot.
Right, she kept saying "great" a lot,
And
or like the dorky laugh and, like,
he,
that
like,
kinda
made a
thing.
remark about her laugh, and he also
Yeah,
made a remark
like a
about
hyena. That's not a compliment.
no, yeah, that oh my gosh.
Eh,
Or even in that same scene where she did knock over the wine glass, that
Oh,
same
and he
scene where
says,
she's
like
like,
he gives her a synonym for great.
"Yeah," which
Yeah.
is like, "Dude, really? Who
I'm like, "Dude,
cares?"
who" that matters. Like, what do you
Yeah,
like?
and not
Like
just that, another one that really this one really got me, honestly, was when she after she knocked over the wine glass and she was just kinda talking in circles, she's like, "I just had a rough day, like, my alarm didn't go off," and all these things, right? And she's talking fast, yes. She's talking in circles, yes, but he is so focused on what she did that he looks at her and goes, "Huh?" Oh, that really got me. That really I wanted to punch this man through the screen when I rewatched this
no,
because
yeah,
I forgot how awful this guy actually kind of was. A very exact parallel is the next scene where she is spending time with the musician.
right.
I feel bad. I remember the bad
I
guy's name,
don't
but
remember.
I
Yeah, I don't.
forgot.
For some reason, I don't remember his name.
She's cooking chocolate souffles for them, like, they're baking together, having a time in the kitchen, and
And
his
she
son comes
comes
in running in
in,
the kitchen and, like, bumps
bumps
into
her, and she
her.
knocks, and she drops a plate, and it shatters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
completely, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm
starts
so sorry,"
freaking
like,
out, and like,
freaking out, and he's like, "It's okay, like, don't
yeah.
apologize, like, it
He's even
happens, it was an
he even
accident."
tells her like, "You're over here making us a souffle and you're apologizing?" Like, and she starts to grab her stuff and whatever, and she goes, "Well, you just said we were having a bad day." He's like, "No, I said we are having an off day and we're gonna have plenty of those." Like, he's very calm
Mhm,
and collected, and knows how to. And she even says this in the next scene of he calms her down. He knows how to calm her down.
and I think the way she reacted when she was with him is a
It
reaction to
was
what it was for
right.
with the other
It
guy
was slightly a
before.
product because of that, because of,
Exactly.
like, "Oh, he got me such he gave me such a severe reaction. He's probably gonna do the same thing. I just did the same BS again."
Yes,
Like,
very distinct parallels between these
mhm,
2 men and how they handle certain things, and my favorite part is when she sees this guy again, the architect, and he apologizes to her about what happened, and then it cuts to a scene where she's with her sisters and is like, "He said he was sorry," like, and then the mom is like, "Well, yeah, he was very remorseful," and the sister, the older one, she said something along the lines of, "He knew he had to be remorseful." Does that make sense?
right.
Like, the bar is in hell, and I'm the older sister, like, he apologized to you, maybe, yes, he probably was sorry for how he reacted, but I don't think he was sorry for how he made you feel. That
Right.
is so different,
That
and
is actually no, that's true.
it's so crazy too, because the sisters what I loved a little bit, and this is the sisters are rooting for the musician.
Of course.
You know, there's an underlying theme there, and then there's the mom that is rooting for the architect because the mom has this idea of what she wants her daughter to be and who she wants her to be with.
And we see her changing her mind
Mhm.
when her daughter does take her to that family dinner and
Yes.
has her meet, like, the guy's uncle or, like, whatever, and the
Yes.
uncle's talking about some crap, and you can tell the mom's not enjoying herself either, and she
Mhm.
looks over at her daughter, and her daughter's not enjoying herself, and she can see that. Like,
Yeah.
she has, like, this look on her face of, like, kinda, like, boredom and almost just like, "What am I doing here?" And
I
that and I kinda wanna speak to that, I guess, a little bit in this movie because, like, it goes back a little bit to my rant earlier of, like, sometimes people aren't compatible. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like for instance, like she did all those things, not meaning like just and that doesn't mean that they're bad things or
Right.
that they're like things that should be fixed or
Mhm.
changed. You just the wrong person wasn't appreciating them. Like,
Exactly.
and we see a very much of that parallel, like you said, like just like we're saying within these two relationships, because obviously the musician is
Mhm.
very good at handling everything that she does. He loves her laugh. He
Yeah.
loves the fact that she says great a lot. Like he's like, yeah,
And,
I mean,
she can keep up with how she talks in circles, and
exactly. He's even like, yeah, you talk in circles, but I
you make
understand you.
perfect
Yeah,
sense,
you
and I
make
understand.
perfect sense to me.
See,
Like,
and that is something that touched me near and dear to my heart is the end where his monologue and
right when he comes into the cooking class,
yes, and he's forgiving her and professing his love to her, and it touched me when he said that because as women, we are constantly misunderstood. Do see myself in a lot of Mandy Moore's character with the way she is, like her personality, in the
right?
sense of being this very extroverted, very clumsy, and sometimes like
Sporadic.
sporadic person and an erratic person, and
Yeah,
very much just not all there sometimes because of what's all the things that she's trying to control, and
right.
the way she talks in circles is literally how I talk in like a normal conversation. I talk like it on the podcast, but I also have to be like very mindful about that because there's a camera in front of me.
right.
And finding somebody who is accepting of those things and doesn't want to change them is a beautiful thing. Like, I'm very, very,
Exactly.
very, very grateful and blessed that I have my boyfriend that, yeah, I might confuse him. But he won't make me feel like shit about it.
Right.
It goes with friends, family, relationships, all those types of things where you find people that simply just get you
That
and understand
understand
you
you. Yeah.
and accept you. And it's a beautiful thing that I see in this movie. And the more beautiful thing is I see where this mom in the end just comes to.
Right, because like I said, she gets that perspective not just for her daughter, but also for herself even for a
Mhm.
second. And then we see her obviously grow her relationship with the musician's father a little bit,
Mhm. Because
and
the daughter does tell her, "It's not too late for you."
that was one of my favorite parts of the movie of like it's not too late, and she starts telling you like, yeah, you're this age, like no, for you,
Yeah. Because
like
the daughter is realizing in that moment that she is projecting.
ridiculously so. Yeah.
Because that is the thing that frustrated me a little bit about the daughter is that she allowed her mother to do certain things and push those boundaries
Right.
and cross that line with her. And I think it's because she thought it's because she means well, and maybe so. But at the same time, this mom was projecting her own feelings onto her daughter.
Mhm.
And she realizes it in that moment,
Right.
which is a great thing too, to have those healthy moments with your parent,
Mhm.
to sit back and be like, hold on, we're not talking about me anymore, we're talking about you.
Right.
And it's a beautiful movie. I'm
Mhm.
really glad you liked it.
Yeah, I did enjoy it quite a bit. It is something that, like, if someone were to, like, suggest it to watch again, I would sit down,
You
like
don't have your list in front of you, but where
right.
does this land?
I think I would place this I wanna say this takes the number 6 spot from Anyone But You,
Speaking of lists, of course, here
where it
we
ranks on yours.
yeah, where it ranks on mine, you're actually gonna be a little surprised. Because I Said So is actually number 24 out of 55.
Huh.
Yes,
So
it's a
almost
little
right there in the middle, yeah.
yes, exactly, a little bit halfway. Um, the reason why I wanna say that this is ranked in that range is honestly, I'm looking at the movies that are above it, and truthfully, it's just because the movies above it just impacted me a lot more than this movie.
Right.
Um, Not to say it's worse or
You're
anything
right,
like
of
that, because
course.
again, it wouldn't be on this list.
Right.
But I just I do love this movie. I love the dynamic. I remember watching it for the first time with mom and just having this like deep connection with mom through this movie.
Right.
Her importance of being a mother to me and how much she does mean well and the things that she does as my mom, and it just made us appreciate each other more watching this together. So, if you are looking for a movie to watch with your daughter, I highly suggest Because I Said So.
Yeah,
It is
it's
a
a
great movie. Um,
and side note, a good movie with actually a decent title drop.
oh my gosh, yeah, the title drop is actually one of my favorite.
That actually happened 3 times, but the first one is technically the actual title drop, but yeah, like
Yeah, it really was natural. It's one of my favorite elements of this movie
mm,
is how the title was dropped. It was dropped so naturally, multiple times throughout the
3 times
movie.
I counted,
It
yeah.
didn't it didn't feel forced.
Yeah,
It made sense.
yeah.
And Because I Said So is such a good title and it's such a good phrase to use in this
It
movie.
encapsulates it perfectly,
Exactly, because I Said So is such a common phrase to use,
especially as a parent.
especially as a parent and especially as a mom.
Yeah, let's get on
Um
to,
Previously on the internet.
yeah,
Diving into previously on the internet, we haven't done one of these since the seventh episode, but
right,
the seventh episode was we were just honed on one topic. We didn't
mainly,
really do a
yeah.
deep dive on the internet, kind of since the third one. So I'm excited to get into this one because the Oscars happened this
Right,
past week. And first of all, I was just moved by the Oscars. I This one was a really great show, in my opinion. There were a few flaws, which we are going to get into talking
right.
about. But first thing I want to talk about is that One Battle After Another was the most awarded film of the night with 6 wins, and Sinners
Mhm,
had 4.
mhm.
One of them being best cinematography. The cinematographer for Sinners was Autumn Arkapaw. She's actually the first woman to ever win this category, but
Oh,
not only the first woman of color,
oh, shit.
which makes it so even more special,
Right,
right? And it was just a win for women, and her speech was beautiful as well. She made all the women stand and just applaud themselves. And I believe in her speech, she even said that she wouldn't be here if it weren't for the women that were presently in that room. And so beautiful, and it's so great. Sinners as a whole is just amazing. One Battle After Another is actually a really great movie. I don't know if you've seen it. I honestly, it doesn't surprise me that it was the most awarded
Oh yeah,
film.
not at all.
Sinners, I believe One Battle After Another and Sinners were really equally great films in my opinion. Sinners is just more powerful because of course it explores, the complexities. There's an underlying theme of racial structure, of
Right,
course, and especially in the time period that it's based in. So, but it is great. It is beautiful. Both movies are amazing. I'm really glad that those two movies were just praised in a
right.
really great way. But speaking of Sinners, Michael B. Jordan won for Best Actor for his role in
Mhm.
Sinners. And this was the first time he's been awarded, essentially. Well, not the first time, but been awarded in, I guess I want to say, at this capacity, right? Because I watched him the entire time. I know that's crazy. I know that's a little parasocial, but I only was watching his reaction because I was looking at all the other ones, right? The thing about the Oscars that I really like that they do is they do a split screen. They have little squares of all the actors in the category that are present at the ceremony. They're waiting for their reaction, right? And then the other side of the split screen is the presenter. I love the tradition of whoever won last year gets to announce the winner for the following year. And
Right,
I love that they do that. I think it's great. It's
right.
one of my favorite little things that awards ceremonies do. It's beautiful to me. Um, if you watch this clip, it is cinematic, truthfully. It's so beautiful because everybody else in this category is like super antsy, super excited because in your head they are assuming that they're winning. But then you have Michael B. Jordan, right? Who is has his eyes closed. He's holding his mother's hand because I you can see that he's preparing for this loss
Right,
actually. Because when Adam Brody announces him, and Adam Brody does this thing too where he lifts up the envelope, looks at Michael B. Jordan, kind of smiles, and Michael B. Jordan again is not paying attention, right? His eyes are closed.
right.
He has this little split second of Michael B. Jordan.
Mhm.
Like he knew that he was deserving of this award too.
Right.
It's
I mean,
beautiful
he
to
played 2
see.
damn characters for God's sake,
And a
like,
lot of people like to argue that there wasn't that much dimension between two characters, which I think is
so actually
ridiculous.
so literally so wrong. You can ask anyone even on set. They were literally they multiple of them have said you could tell when he walked by.
The fact
Like
that he changed his facial structure in with between because one had a dimple and one didn't,
right.
it is insane to
Like
me. How can you
like
do
he
that?
made that choice. That was
And
crazy.
and not just that, but when I watched Sinners, I felt myself more drawn to one twin than the other. So yeah, he did play two different
He
characters in
played
my
2
opinion.
different characters, like
Honestly, I would argue three because one of the twins turns into a vampire, right?
oh, right.
So I would argue there is a third character.
Uh,
The soundtrack
oh,
is
and I'm so glad they got to
beautiful.
play that song at the Oscars.
Oh my gosh, I
Like,
just got chills when
I
you
no,
mentioned that
literally, like
because oh my god, I'm gonna cry. It was beautiful. Misty Copeland coming out of retirement to dance for them for that song is so powerful. Ryan Coogler winning an award for this film was oh my gosh, so amazing, so powerful, you guys. Like in this current state of America, I love seeing people of color win.
mhm,
I love it. I love it too so like deep in my soul. We deserve this. This is the reason why we fight for certain things. We fight for this space to even be here and to win and to have our hard work recognized. I hate when people downplay the acting industry and think that what everybody does is not hard work. It is.
oh my
Creating
god.
art is hard work. When you see Michael B. Jordan get his name called, and for a second, it didn't even register.
Shit, it wouldn't to me, I would've thought I was hearing
You
things.
can see his stomach drop. Like truthfully, you can tell his heart fell into his ass. Like he really and like it took him a second. His mom was shaking him like you won. Like it was a beautiful moment. And I hope that in like 20 years from now, it not even maybe 5 years from now, it goes into the compilations of the most beautiful moments to happen at the Oscars
Mhm,
because it was amazing to see.
mhm.
And I think the more amazing part is seeing another fellow actor who just had it's so crazy. He was the first person to know before anybody else. Do you get what I mean? Like,
right?
it's that split second of he deserves this. He was so happy to say Michael B. Jordan won for best actor. That is amazing.
Hmm.
Seriously, so amazing. Moving into the best supporting actor category, Sean
Sean
Penn
Penn,
won for One Battle After Another. And
which, and don't get me wrong, I will say, like, from what I saw of Sean Penn's performance, it was good. Like, obviously, it
I
was
watched
very
the whole
good. Yeah,
movie and it
it
was
was good.
great.
It was great performance. And you can even see kind of because you could see Jacob Elordi's reaction a little
Mhm.
bit to that because especially Sean Penn wasn't there.
And here's the thing, Kieran Kieran
Kieran, oh, his
Culkin
comment. Oh my god, I
actually
almost,
made me hilarious because I would have said the same thing.
yeah,
Sean Penn couldn't make it
yeah,
or
or
just
didn't
didn't
want
want to
to. Like,
because listen, I get it, life happens, but them as actors, you don't think any one of them had other shit to do?
this is like, right? Like, this is like almost a duty. Like,
It's your job.
it's your job to show up and not even just for yourself, for other people.
Exactly.
Like, you
And
need
brother,
to.
come on, Sean Penn, sir, you when was the last time
Also,
you've been
yeah.
in a movie that
God
was
damn. I was
nominated for
gonna
an
say,
Oscar?
God damn, you're the oldest person in that. You're one of the oldest people in that
In that
category.
category. Like, are we for real and you didn't bother to show up? I'm sorry, but Jacob Elordi, I watched Frankenstein. He did
like
amazing.
to portray a monster like that.
I
Like,
really thought Frankenstein, I thought it was gonna be clearing those in my opinion. I thought it was going to be a hard battle between Sinners and Frankenstein because also too Frankenstein wasn't nominated for much though either
that's
at the
true.
same time, but I have to say Jacob Elordi in my opinion deserves that role. And I'm not a huge like Jacob Elordi fan, you know. I can attest to say that he is a great
Right.
actor. I'm not going to lie
Well, he's a
about
good
that.
actor.
He's a good actor, right? But I watched Frankenstein. He deserved that award in my humblest opinion.
Oh yeah.
And for Sean Penn to not even show up to accept it is crazy. Super
Yeah.
crazy to me. One of the last things I will say, and one of the most beautiful parts of the show in general, Rob Reiner's tribute. Oh, I'm gonna
No, I'm so serious. Like, I literally wanted to cry.
I it gets me emotional even just talking about it. We obviously know, for those who don't know, Rob Reiner is an amazing director slash
And
actor,
even
and
it was the last movie that we had talked about on the
yeah,
podcast.
he directed Stand By Me, and we talked about that movie last week and how amazing that movie is.
He was in New Girl, and I love his
And
role
for
in
those who
there.
don't know how he passed, allegedly, him and his wife were unalived by
His
his own
son.
son. And that is such a tragic way to pass on. And it is very, very awful for all parties involved. But something so beautiful that they did at the Oscars was have the actors whom were in his featured films come out and pay a tribute to him. And they're holding hands, and the movie posters of his were just behind them, and it
Oh,
beautiful.
it literally makes
It
me emotional.
it was a beautiful and respectful segment in the show, and my goodness, it moved me. It really
Well,
did.
because like to have that beautiful of a legacy,
Mhm.
like one can only dream.
And have movies like Stand By Me, When Harry Met Sally, which is on the list,
Mm.
which I'm excited for you to see and watch one of these days, and A Few Good Men, like just those movies are
And then
just
have
great.
roles in like A Wolf of Wall Street or
Yeah,
even in New Girl, where like you
yeah.
got to have fun.
He was an amazing person in the
Amazing person.
industry,
Yeah,
like truthfully. And it breaks my heart
that
even for
will
us that we will
never
never
get to
meet
meet
him
him.
and we'll never get to work with him. And it really is. It tugs at my heartstrings a lot for sure. Moving on to more exciting news for you. The
For
new Spider-Man movie.
new Spider-Man trailer came out. Finally, for the love of God, we are getting this movie in July, by the way.
That's not that far. You really gotta.
No, but that's the problem. Is it's we had to wait this long. Like
How long has it been?
we're getting the movie in July. It's March, so that yeah, there's literally a 4 month difference. 4 months.
Mhm.
We're 4 months out from the movie. You're supposed to get a trailer at least like 6 to 8.
What do you think
It's
what the holdup was?
I mean, well, there was a few well, because they were doing marketing for Doomsday as well,
Oh, I see.
which we still haven't gotten a full trailer for that either. We've only gotten the shortest little teasers of like what characters we're seeing. Anyway, and then yeah, I think they wanted to find a good space to market it with, like, so that it wouldn't get overshadowed.
Mhm.
Because currently it's now the most watched, I think, trailer or YouTube like video right now.
Spider-Man is definitely your favorite superhero to your
Oh yeah,
core,
100%.
and this is definitely your neck of the woods. And I mean, I'm not even. I actually, out of all the superheroes that I care about, I do like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Like, I have to be real. Spider-Man is just
yeah,
a likable
yeah.
superhero. You really have to admit.
Which we're seeing a lot of an actual core to the character, like rooted Spider-Man story. At least it's what
Mhm.
it's looking like. We're getting Zendaya back. We're
Mhm.
getting Jacob Batalon back
Mhm.
as Ned Leeds. Sadie Sink is going to be in the movie as the main villain.
I'm just really excited to ask you this question.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna lean into, the man spider theory.
right.
So
That whole thing.
hold on. Again, I am not
It's like the third time I've been asked about this actually, so I
really
love
okay. So
this.
I am not the, it's not my expertise of the Marvel of the
Right,
all, the DC of it all. It's really not,
right.
but I can respect it. And I just wanted to ask you, what is the problem? Like, genuinely, I'm seeing a lot of people hate it. I'm seeing in the comments
Yeah.
of, oh, if this is the man spider theory, I'm walking out of the theater. First of all, eat your popcorn and shut up. Stop being dramatic. It's not really that serious. But is it?
Honestly, that's the thing is I don't find it to be, because here's the thing.
I like
The
it.
man spider thing has happened. There's a like I think 2 or 3 times where it's been apparent within comics and media. So in the animated TV show in the 90s,
Mhm.
Peter Parker having his powers starts to go through some changes because his powers are basically evolving,
Right.
because obviously his DNA is mutated.
Mhm.
That's how his powers work. His
Mhm.
DNA was mutated by the spider.
Mhm.
It's not that he was a mutant beforehand, like the X-Men, or that he was an Inhuman. Those are two races that are basically prone to getting superpowers. That's what it
Correct.
is. They have a genetic ability to have powers.
I see.
Peter Parker didn't have that. He was bitten by a spider and it mutated his DNA.
Mhm.
So within one comic storyline and within the show, his DNA starts to mutate and evolve more. So obviously, being influenced by a spider, he becomes more spider-like. He grows 2 extra arms. His like face becomes a little bit more like
Tarantula-like.
spider, yeah, like
Oh,
spider-like.
that sounds
That's
so
why, like, even in the
terrifying.
trailer, we kind of well, people think that's why in the trailer we
Because his
see
eyes are
like
black.
the black reddish eyes. Like
Mhm.
that's what's happening to him, is like he's transforming. That's why he goes to Bruce Banner and is asking him about mutation within DNA, because who else is going to know than the big green monster? Basically, what we currently think is going to happen in the movie, most of us, is Peter's going to be going through a lot of changes like this. He's going to go to Bruce Banner for help.
Wait, hold on. So Bruce Banner is the Hulk. So wait, are we getting?
Mark Ruffalo's in the movie.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I love Mark Ruffalo. Okay, I mean, not in that way, but I love him as a person. I love just him as an actor. I'm excited.
Oh
Now I
yeah.
want to watch this movie.
Oh yeah. He's gonna be, and John Barenthal is gonna be in the movie as
Oh,
well,
because he's the
because
Punisher.
he's the Punisher. Getting him and Peter's relationship, which I'm very excited for. It's such a fun thing in the
Uh
comics,
huh.
because obviously Punisher just has a very unstrict kill rule. Like,
Right.
as long if you are doing crime, he will kill you. Like,
He's
that's
this
really,
vigilante,
yeah,
essentially.
exactly. But and obviously, Spider-Man doesn't have this rule, so that plays a very big part in their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
There's even a funny moment in the trailer where he's about to call him like a mother effer, and
Mm-hmm.
he webs his mouth before he gets the f out. So
Oh,
it's like
I'm
we're gonna.
excited to see that this cast seems really great
It's
for this
that
movie.
Sadie Sink, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, John Barenthal, Mark Ruffalo, and who else, and whoever the hell else we're gonna get surprised with.
I
But
I'm
in any case,
excited for
yeah,
this
no,
one. I
I'm very,
truthfully am.
very
And the
excited.
whole listen, I'm not a fan of spiders. We all know this. But I am down to see this movie. And I think the whole mutation of like the man spider theory would make this movie a lot more interesting to watch because we're seeing a different version, right? We're seeing a different
Exactly.
version. We're seeing a side of Spider-Man that isn't good.
Well, right. Well, because the whole big thing, especially now, is because no one knows Peter Parker. Peter
Right.
Parker was forgotten about in the last movie.
Mhm.
Doctor Strange made the entire world forget who Peter Parker was.
Right,
So
including Zendaya's character,
exactly,
MJ. You're right.
everyone, no one remembers who Peter Parker is. Not the Avengers only remember Spider-Man in the comics because this does happen in the comics. But people forgot who Peter Parker was.
Mhm.
But I'm really hoping it happens in the movie because it kind
Aw.
of makes me cry if it does happen. I'm not even joking.
You're
In
crying
the
right
comic,
now.
no, yeah, because it's like such a touching moment because Hulk is obviously a very like kind of dumb-ish character,
Mhm.
but in the comics, he like when he transforms into the Hulk again, and they get done doing something, and Hulk says, "Thank," like something like, thank you, Peter,"
Mhm.
and he has a moment like, "Wait, what? Like you know who I am?"
Mhm.
And he just goes, "Mm-hmm." Hulk, don't forget. Like
Oh my gosh.
Hulk
Well,
always remember because Hulk is like a different person, so he
yeah.
wasn't conscious when Doctor Strange did that.
So,
So the
here's the
Hulk
thing.
remembers.
I think here's my question even more so. Why are fans not liking this?
So the issue currently, and I will say it's a little bit my issue, is like the organic webbing thing. I don't want that to be a permanent thing, which in the comics, even when it happened, it wasn't. He kind of reverted.
What is it?
But it's not like organic webbing. Like it's kind of like how Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is the only Spider-Man in like the entire multiverse who has organic webbing, like
Oh, like it
webbing that
comes from
it
his.
literally comes out of him.
Right. Okay.
Versus literally every other Spider-Man has had to make web shooters.
So, okay, so I think I'm a little confused then.
So the reason why people are like mad about it is because it's like a fundamental part of Spider-Man is the fact that he like does that. Like it's why it's like his whole it's like a thing of it. Think about it. Think about if you took away Batman's utility belt. It's kind of like
Right.
that.
Well,
You
my
know,
thing is when you get bitten by a radioactive spider, then what makes what how you
you would
why
assume they'd be able to make the webbing, right?
exactly.
It's not really explained too much when it happens in the comics or even like at all. But I will say what is explained is getting bit by the spider gives him it gave him like an innate knowledge of how to make the web formula,
Uh-huh.
which is kind of weird. But like yeah, it gave him like an innate knowledge of how to make the web formula for his web shooters. So it's like that. But yeah, it's just
I see.
he's only he can stick to walls and has ridiculous amount of strength. But
I think what gets me too is like the whole like senses of it all. Like, do you realize spiders actually do have senses
oh
and
yeah,
know when humans are coming to go?
well certain species, yeah,
I hate that bug so much. You
yeah.
guys, they need to go extinct. I'm
But
gonna throw
I
up.
am really excited for the movie. I do think though, because people are worried about because if it's people are worried about that, it will get graphic with the man
So am
spider thing,
I.
which is fair, which is completely fair. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna get into like the teetering edge of like he's really about to like transform, and then they'll like save him or something. But
I don't
but
know. I'm
here's the
very
thing:
scared that
we
it's
do
going to
have
do
like
it.
two main antagonists for the movie. Because here's the thing: we've only really gotten kind of the trailer of like things that are happening. We
Mhm.
don't really know the plot besides the fact that Peter is changing.
Right. We
That's
just don't
all
know
we
the
got.
plot, period. I
Exactly.
see. Okay,
So we have two
so
main antagonists as Tombstone.
well, I guess also too the prosthetics of it all, right? I mean, I'm only scared to go watch this movie if the graphicness of him turning into Man Spider because I just hate spiders,
Right,
right?
that's fair.
It's gonna gross me out. I will leave the theater because I'm gonna throw up,
Right.
right? But why aren't people that are not ill like me are mad about the graphicness? Isn't that the whole point? Wouldn't that be a great thing to see in the movie?
I mean, it's kind of like it's more of like, are we? It's like I think it's a thing of like, is it necessary? Basically, though, there is a lot to be going on in this movie, which I didn't think Zendaya was going to be as prevalent as it looks like she is going to be.
Hmm.
So there's that. But yeah, we have a lot to look forward to as nerds, especially. And we have Daredevil coming out these next couple of days, which
Hmm.
that will heavily lead into Spider-Man, we're hoping, or
Yes.
somewhere along the lines of them connecting. We actually, and current fan theory now too, is that Daredevil is also in the movie. He was just edited out of a scene, but in any case, which we've seen before from Marvel. But yeah, no, we are as a nerd culture, we're all I'm very excited.
I
I
mean,
think it looks
I'm
great.
excited for you guys
Right? Like
because when my time comes for the Hunger Games and me getting excited, like I know that feeling, right?
right,
And
exactly.
I'm excited. I'm down to go see it too. Um, even though I know nothing, like no context, I'm just gonna be
Well,
just
that's
in
the
the
thing too.
theater,
Is
completely
this is
going
going
in
to be
blind.
like it's Spider-Man Brand New Day. because this is like a whole new. This is the start of a new trilogy.
And are you a fan of, because a lot of people aren't a fan of, like, the comic accuracy, like, they really, because again, people are not a big fan of this man spider theory.
Yeah.
But question, is Tom it kind of more of like a nerdy question, is Tom Holland's universe as a Spider-Man, is his universe the only time a man spider happens, or is this the catalyst to every other universe? Like, does this happen to other Spider-Mans?
I mean, that kind of thing. It's like
An unknown thing?
yeah, because it's
Okay.
like like it has it's like a thing because like they could be pulling it just from the comics in general because
I
like
was gonna
obviously
say,
like
like, are they pulling it because it's detrimental to his type of Spider-Man story time or storyline, or is it because it's something that they're like,
that it happens to every Spider-Man.
yes.
No, it's definitely the first one where they're thinking it's gonna be something that's probably gonna perpetuate his character a little bit more, and definitely like help him find out things about his powers maybe.
Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Rated R for Relatives. This is our 10th episode, and
Yeah,
I am truly grateful for the subscribers that we currently
of
have.
course,
I'm truly grateful for every comment we get. Any engagement is great. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more
of
content and
course.
to boost, obviously, our content
Yeah,
because we would like a better production. If you want
and
better video quality, if you want better lighting, please subscribe and
right.
share, and engage, please.
Yeah, I mean,
That would be great.
tell us in the comments, tell us off in the comments if you
So,
want.
just
But
okay. It's
yeah,
okay. You can let it out.
right,
It's
yeah.
fine. Give us
But
any feedback too, as
mhm,
well, of what we could do to make this podcast better.
yeah.
Besides production, we know we are very much aware that we need better production, but
Right.
we're broke. So, anyways, thank you so
Yeah,
much for tuning in again for this episode, and we
mm,
will see you next week.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye.